Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Quantum Paradigm Podcast. I am particularly excited about today because we are going to be joined by a special guest, a new recent friend of mine by the name of Anca Lavinia. And she is just about to hop on. We have an epic conversation for you guys. I just cannot wait. I'm not even going to intro it too much here. I'm just going to bring her on really quickly. Retrograde, we are going to see if technology is going to work with us today, which of course it will.
Hello.
Hello, we are live. I was just introducing you to the audience very briefly. I hope that I've gotten your name pronounced
Yeah,
correctly.
it
Anca, is that how we
is.
say your okay?
Lavinia.
Anca Lavinia. So good to have you here. You're joining us from Romania, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about this today, but when we connected originally, we were kind of discussing where in Romania, because this is actually some place that I have been and remember very, very fondly. So yeah, I am super jazzed about the conversation that we're basically just gonna continue what we were talking about before we went live.
Yes.
But I don't know if you saw the title of today. So what we were talking about and what we're going to continue for our audiences are what feminine leadership, like what does it really look like? Because we as a collective are entering a time where it seems like the feminine is rising in leadership. I mean, we could look at corporate situations, we could look at the world stage, we could look all over, and we're seeing more and more females coming into legitimate stages of positions of leadership, right? So to take it a little further, because I'm always kind of pushing the edge here, especially on the Quantum Paradigm podcast, where we are blending these different worlds, the 5D with the 3D, the science with the spirit. We want to talk about, what does feminine leadership really look like? What are some of the qualities? So, okay, where do we even want to start?
Well, I can start saying that it's a very on fire theme, very present in the field. I mean, it's something I've been talking about, writing about, invited to talk about. It's like feminine leadership. The universe is saying, like, come
Yeah.
on, you women, come on, time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy path. It is scary.
Mm-hmm.
It requires a lot of bravery.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all that, a lot of devotion, commitment, resilience, all of that.
Yeah.
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 Because when you embody your leadership, I mean, true, like you said, really, truly, the mature feminine, you can't hold back anymore and
Yeah.
pretend and like half measures. And it's like, do I stay true to myself? Am I really aligned in integrity with what I know, with my truth?
Mm-hmm.
Do I choose to like keep not speaking up, or doing what I need to do? Or am I like brave enough and trusting enough in my path, in my soul, in the divine guidance, um to spill the beans when
So
necessary?
speaking of spilling the beans, what we were conversing on before we got on camera, guys, is well, I'll just use myself as a case study here. Um, I've had the unique privilege, opportunity, manifestations. These are all conscious manifestations, which that's a whole different topic. But
Mm-hmm.
consciously manifested opportunities of a lifetime. And I have been, quote unquote, discovered by multiple people in multiple industries of the past few months. Um, when these people see me speak on stage, when they see my media kit, when they see these things, they are like, oh my God. Okay. So there are natural abilities that I embody. And when they're being seen by people in power, people in leadership, I've been offered several things on a silver platter, things that honestly I've dreamed of my whole life. Being well known, um, being put in front of millions of people, um, having people invest in projects of mine that I've been dreaming of for many years. Okay, and and um, being the deeply intuitive, psychic, feminine, embodied feminine that I am, I started discerning energetic things that were not in alignment for me to be fully in my integrity. To pursue some of these things, I was going to have to mask. And I can mask, okay? I can. We all can. But I had this decision point where I needed to decide, okay, am I going to go this direction and wear this kind of a mask that I absolutely can put on, and then have these internal like battles within myself of, am I being fully authentic? If am I being fully in my integrity, or am I going to say enough is enough with the leaders so far? And this is not against all leaders, this is kind of like a paradigm.
Yeah.
This podcast is called the quantum paradigm. We're all about paradigm shifts. We're undergoing a massive one uh, as a collective right now. But the paradigm up until this point has been to always hide something behind the doors that
Yes.
the public is not privy to, that the ones who don't have millions and millions of dollars are not privy to. You know, there's the leaders and the followers. There's uh, the kings and queens and the peasants, right? There's this separation,
Hierarchy and
this
separation. Yeah.
hierarchy, correct? Yes. And so there came that pivot point for me where I really had to look deep within, do even more shadow work,
Yay.
and yes, confront these aspects of me, because we know, you and I know, that everything on the external outside of us is a mirror of what is inside, right? And so rather than running from these, but really not running from them, but going even deeper within
Mm.
to alchemize. And then that process was not fun for me personally. And coming out the other side and saying, okay, I know what it takes for me to be in integrity. And yes, and I want to hear your thoughts,
Yeah.
because I feel this is not an exclusively feminine quality. Of course, that is not what we're saying.
Everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but the feminine quality of going within, being within,
And
and
listening
yes,
and trusting more than listening. Because I think I said it today. Maybe connecting to your inner guidance and wisdom is the easier part, and the trusting
yeah,
that and following that is the hard part, as we have been so conditioned, one, to be in our heads so much and to think it over and analyze it and argument and all of that, and second, that happy, fulfilled, approved of person means all of that external material paradigm that you were implying here, or let's directly say it, yeah, have the role in the high society, have the millions, have the jets, have all that. And I'm not saying you cannot have that or that is not possible. I'm saying it how you come to that.
exactly. How?
How
How?
because what I notice is as you go deeper and deeper on this inner remembering path and inner connecting path, well, see, you have a consciousness, awareness, and you cannot fool yourself
Mm.
anymore. And you are so aware. Me, from my example, I'm so aware of myself and my thoughts and my emotions and my sensations and everything going on, so that I cannot literally lie to myself or others, even in the smallest of things or the silliest of things,
Yeah.
like you could skip something, or you could not give those like $1 to whoever. I can't, because I know how it works on the energetic level, and I know what karma is, and I know a lot, so
Yeah.
so like when this like kind of opportunity that you mentioned comes up, it is, from my point of view, like a test. Are you taking the path of your soul, the higher path, the path of alignment with your divine self, with your truest self, with your inner wisdom? Or are you taking the path you are programmed into, your
Yeah.
mind path, your let's get rich path, no matter how?
Right.
Because this is the paradigm. Let's get rich no matter how. And let's do no matter what, so we get there, so we become the privileged ones, and the other ones, the peasants, have no idea. And it came to me when you were speaking about it. Why does this happen? Because
Mm-hmm.
we also need to understand, the finer print here. Why does it happen? Because we have been constantly disconnected from ourselves, constantly, for centuries have been disconnected from our inner wisdom, inner connection, soul, intuition, God, self, and all of that, which is so precious and most important.
Yeah.
And they are capitalizing on that. Oh,
Yes.
they're stupid. They don't know. They have no idea what's going on. Let's fool them.
Yeah.
Let's dangle the carrot, and let's.
Yeah. And what my observations have been is that this happens to women so
More,
much.
maybe, I don't know, maybe.
It
Yeah,
happens to both. It happens. Men and women are both preyed upon energetically.
yeah,
Um,
that's true. Yeah,
I have clients who very similar things have occurred to them where they've been offered these positions,
yeah.
and but and there's really nothing spoken. It's not like it's going to cost you this and this and this. It's all invisible.
Oh,
It's all unspoken. But these people, the people who are connected to their bodies, you can feel it.
yeah,
You feel the cords, the energetic cords that are attached. And I am convinced that some of these people, if not many of them, they know exactly what they're doing in the 5D,
yep,
and they're doing it on purpose.
yeah. I'm also convinced, and I'm also convinced that a lot of them are not fully human anymore, and a lot of them are not guided, let's say, by human intelligence or whatever. And even if you don't feel like the chords, you definitely feel something itchy in your body, something that is ick.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's in your stomach, but it can also be like a sudden tension in your whole body,
Yes.
a sudden closing, a sudden feeling of or even I encountered like women that are so wise, they don't know they are, and they don't validate that, but I was like smiling and validating that. Like, I cannot listen to that person. Like, 3
Oh
seconds
no,
and I
I
want
think
to.
there we go. We had a small disruption, but we're
I
back.
was saying that the wisdom of the woman that doesn't even know she's wise, and that is her guiding compass talking, is something like, I can't even listen to that person. I close the video in like 2 seconds, because somewhere on some level they know that is not good. They close it, they can't watch it. And that was also one of my teaching lessons as well, as I was telling you before, sharing it now with your audience, is that I lived a very lonely life as a feminine leader in my
Yep.
field, and in life generally, because of my opinions and because what I believe, and because I thought I am crazy. The hard part was trusting what I feel, because no
Exactly.
one teaches us that.
Right. I'm glad you brought this up. because if anyone's listening to this and feeling alone because of the things that they've been sensing that you can't quite put words to, but
Yes.
it just feels off.
Yes.
And everything else is in place, and you're like, but I should want
And your
this.
mind is,
The
yeah,
mind is so active. So the crazy thing about this whole, if we're going to use my experience as a case study for people to look at, like, the crazy thing is that I consciously manifested. I did use my manifestation method, my signature method, to manifest these things, and I got exactly what I wanted. And then I started feeling, I was like, wait, there's something's not lining up energetic. And so the mind was like, Allison, you got what you wanted. And the body was like, something's off. And it's like, okay, what am I going to go with here? What am I going to listen to? What am I going to act on? And this is where I believe that the feminine wisdom can lead with the collective, right? Um, because it's almost this crisis of integrity.
it is big one, big
And
one.
we're undergoing this as a race, like, and
Yes,
right.
totally feel it, totally agree it. I even feel some I used to like feel a bit of ashamed when using this word like integrity, that I lead with integrity, that I am in integrity. It's like a bit of me was like, come on, like you're the only one in integrity or something, you know? But it is a crisis, and maybe people don't even realize what actually integrity deeply truthfully means, you
Yeah,
know, because you might say, yeah, but if I manifested this, then I want it. If you're on the superficial level and you're not connected to your deeper layers, to the inner wisdom, like you said in your example, but this is all that I want. And oh my god, we do this so often, like everyone does this so often. They find their stories to cover up the ick inside the
oh yeah,
body, and to justify, you know, and to justify, but this is what I wanted, but this is you know, what if I remain alone, what if I never get this opportunity again, what if, in the mind, in the mind, in the mind, you know. And
yes,
people go into like signing deals, because energetically we sign deals no matter what. Even in friendships, like what if I remain alone for the entirety of my life and I never have a good friend like this one, you know?
yeah,
So I deal with this friend, and I am a living witness, let's say, of 3 narcissistic friendship relationships for like going on for 20 years, and I had no idea. And when I saw it and when I uncovered it, it was mind blowing. It took me a lot to recover. It is a hard process to come
yeah,
out of. Um, and because we are on topic here, I always felt something was off. And
yes,
I didn't know how to put it on words. I didn't know how to explain it. And my mind, because of my wounding, you know, because the inner child surfaces in key moments. Oh my god, but I'm going to be alone. I need the affection. I need to be seen and validated. And she gives me this and he gives me that. And that's like, ah, you know, and that's the inner child coming on. You don't know it when you are not aware, of course. That rules the entire thing, you
mm-hmm.
know, and you keep staying there and you keep saying yes and you keep going back, no matter, you know, the context or the relationship. Until for some of them it's too late. And when I see this, I think to everything that's going on now with all the higher
Mm-hmm.
up people and stars and influencers and singers and all of that. For some of them it's too late because they're too deep into their soul being sold.
Yes,
And maybe they did it at the beginning being excited and like, oh my god, this is what I've been dreaming of.
yes,
So it's a bigger scale, a smaller scale, but it's the same thing. We sign up contracts, and usually we do that, one, because we're disconnected, and second, because we are ruled, let's say, or guided by a wounding.
yeah,
So that's where the shadow work and the inner work becomes so important.
Yes. So this is golden because if we are talking about new paradigm leadership, then imagine a world, let's just imagine a world where big deals are being made behind closed doors about,
Yeah,
business acquisitions and mergers and governments and
yeah.
all, and instead of somebody needing, I don't know, advice from another person who's got more credentials on their CV,
Oh,
instead of that,
yeah.
what if the question was these business deals to the person who's making these business deals? What if the question was, where are you not loving yourself? Where are you not loving the inner child? Where are you needing to love yourself more? And how can you do that? I swear to God, I feel that this is where true leadership is being born today, now, and 300 years from now, if we're lucky as a human race,
I totally
we have,
that.
yes, we will have embodied this so fully that
Yes.
we will not be swayed by these shiny objects. I talk about shiny object syndrome all the time as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur and a creative, and I have to say that I got excited for a moment
Yes.
about these shiny objects that were put in front of me. And I'm grateful for all the embodiment work that I did up until this point for the last decade of my life, consciously connecting to my body. I'm grateful for the health crises that I went through, because if it wasn't for all of that, what we might call negative things, negative hard experiences, if it wasn't for all of those ingredients that went into that recipe, and if I hadn't been alchemizing the way that I had, I know I would have
Yeah.
missed it. I would have missed my whole actual life's calling and purpose,
Wow.
because it was so similar on the outside. And it was coming, the whole term false light. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And because I got this question many times on my work and my path started with archangels and angels, angelic work, channeling, and stuff like that. And I even went myself through a crisis with, am I doing something wrong? Is this okay? Am I hurting people? What am I doing here? Um, the answer is to the question, how do you know
Hmm.
what is what?
Hmm.
It's basic. How do you feel?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Yes.
How does that make you feel? Because that ick feeling tells you something's off. And even, I'm now repeating what you said because it's that important. Even if you don't know how to put words on it, even if your mind cannot explain it,
Hmm.
trust that ick, that tension, that ugh, I can't, that impulse of closing the video or not reading that or not going there, even if you don't know why.
Yeah.
That's the real wisdom of our body. That's the intelligence we have within us.
Yes. Yes.
And about integrity, I remember, like you said, like the path of entrepreneurship can be very difficult and probably the most tested one in this regard. Truth, integrity, connection with your wisdom, divinity, all of this. As I was telling like my husband and some people in my life, I could have easily done what everybody else does to
Yep.
get where I
Yep.
want to get. Like who would stop me to like pay people and advertising and do it the classical way and like lie a little bit and twitch a little bit and formulate and tell the words that people want to hear to hook them
Yeah.
up, to like bring them in, to like do that selling. And I never could do that. even if I knew that would probably be the easier way towards success, but worldly success, and here like brackets and notes, what does success mean for you?
That,
What is actually success?
yeah, that's
Because
it.
it's old paradigm success and there's a new paradigm success. And
Mm-hmm.
everything going on right now with this ascension, evolution, Aquarius era, Pluto stuff going on. I'm also an astrologer, so I can't refrain from that.
Yeah.
All that is going on is pointing towards a total reset in the value system, priorities, how we lead ourselves, how we live our lives, and what is actually important. And this is another question. What is actually important for me?
Yeah.
What is important? Like beyond, I had health issues at some point, and that led me to this question. What is actually important for me? How do I want to live this life?
Yeah.
Do I need the whistles and the bells and all that noise?
Right.
No. I want peace. I want silence. I want health. I want nature. I want quality relationships. I want intimacy. I want the real deal. You know, the one, exactly that saying, what matters the most you cannot buy. Even
Yes.
though, yes, I do want the beautiful place to live in. I do want the trips around the world. I do want the money to be able to fulfill that. But again, how?
Yeah.
Taking maybe the lesser approved of road, being the disruptor, being the crazy one, being the rebel, doing things in my way, which is God's way, by the way, making a rhyme here, and you know, growing organically, growing accordingly, you know, to my heart, to my soul, to what my mission is really is about, to, with integrity, in truth,
Yeah.
not just by followers or by whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You could also easily buy 10,000 followers and become an influencer overnight. Do I
Right.
want this?
Right.
Actually, I've done this with the giveaways thing at some point, and then I noticed, well, this just brings me people that then leave or are inactive
Yeah.
because they just want the perk. That's it. And
Yeah.
they go away.
It kind of ties back into the whole manifestation laws, the laws of attraction, and like being the person who's going
Being.
to attract the correct uh, clients, the correct marketplace, all of these things. And it's, again, like, I feel like we're going so deep, but because it's so crazy, the circles that I've gotten into, and even some of the people that I've paid to teach me
Yeah.
on certain marketing things, they present themselves as embodied. They present themselves as
Mm,
um, connected, spiritually connected,
mm.
and all things. And then they start teaching all these methods
That are,
of marketing that are totally narcissistic. And it's
oh, okay.
you've got to, um, basically all these, you got to hook them here, you got to hook them here, you got to hook them here. And it's like,
Make the sell, make the sell, make the sell.
God, yeah. How about
How
we
about
take a deep breath and be who we want to be unapologetically, and
and
with,
connect genuinely? Like,
yes,
for
and act,
example, let's give our own example. Like, we never met before. We met once or twice,
yes,
once in a container.
yep,
And from all those people in that container, in that meeting, we felt a genuine
yeah,
connection. It's like, oh, and it feels, you feel it. It's not explainable
yeah,
with the head, you know? And it's like, we should meet for alive, or we should do something because we're so like, something is going on here.
yeah,
I got body chills. You were like, yeah, that's true, you know? See the body chills, the now I'm like burning up, or I'm
yeah,
sweating because I'm so activated, or you know, stuff like this. It's like, this is the truth. This is what, and like you said, what about being genuine? What about working through your wounds so that you can come into that place of opening the heart, softening the heart, embracing the vulnerability, and actually caring? Because I also have been in my narcissistic period of time because of my wounding. of my inner child that needed love and affection and attention. Like, come to me, it's all about me, my money, my clients, my stuff, you know, until I realized, come on, no, I want that genuine feeling of being connected, sharing, collaborating, being in truth. And this is the new earth. This is what we're talking about, the new paradigm. Like, together in transparency and integrity and heart. I'm going to be emotional here because I care so much and I feel it so deeply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know we're still like a minority, but keep going. I mean, you're here for a higher purpose. You're here for something so beautiful. Don't give up, you know, just because it doesn't work how your mind wants it from the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And don't go after the shiny objects. Go for the real deal.
Yes. So powerful. It's yeah, this is the this is the real work. This is what true feminine leadership looks like. And another I feel like I'm just kind of myth busting left, right, and center all the time, but another myth on the internet is that stuff is easy. And it's like I
Get to
see a
10,000
lot.
like this.
What's that?
Get to $10,000 a month or $100 a month like this.
It,
Like, I'll show you 3 steps
yeah.
and you're going to get there. And this is another thing about feminine leadership done in a masculine way, because I've been in mentorships where I had to tell my teacher, stop. I am a woman. You are a man. This is not how I function. I cannot like just write messages, hooks, sell that, do that, check, 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 check,
Yep.
check. Okay, that's the masculine way. I need space to process my emotions. I need space to process my triggers.
Yeah. It's this is so funny that you
Barriers,
bring this
not
up
to
because
sell to people
I
like
know,
crazy.
I
Yeah,
think
broke off a
yeah.
little bit. I said I mentorship to break barriers, to go to a next level from within, to see where my triggers are. I'm not here to just go sell, 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 because that's not the right way. It doesn't feel the feminine embodied way.
Right.
So I did
And the
my way.
yes, and our way, the feminine way, it does work. It works
Sure,
for us.
of
It's
course.
so funny that you bring this up because I don't think that you're on my email list, but last week I sent an email
Huh?
very authentically to my audience saying, you know, I woke up, I want to show you guys, I'm just really in this mood to like rip the veil and just show everybody this is what it takes, this is what it is like. And so I said, guys, this is my 3rd day of a migraine. I am PMSing. I am premenstrual. The astrology is doing all kinds of things. I'm feeling all kinds of ways. I've been crying for 5 days. And
Oh,
I had a to-do list 3 miles long, and all of the programming inside of me, because I've always been a successful person.
yeah.
Everything inside of that programming was saying, you know, get up and go to work and show up on your laptop and do the things and send the email, make the sales and make the calls and blah blah blah. And I was just like, no, no. I'm going to take instead, I'm going to take 5 days off of my business and I'm going to be with my children and I'm going to lay in bed as long as I want and I'm going to take baths and I'm going to do this. And, you know, that could be labeled as so many things by our society. It could be
Yeah.
labeled lazy. It could be labeled as wooey. It could be labeled as all kinds.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. It's actually a deep integral part of my manifestation method, and
And from the
and
feminine.
from the feminine, and it actually attracted money into my field while I was quote unquote doing nothing. So
Yeah, that
it's
is,
it's a different wisdom. It's a different wisdom than we've been taught, and but our bodies know it.
yes. It goes against, you know, I have this thing. If you want like the success and the fulfillment and the peace and whatever and the connection and the what we've been talking here, unlearn everything you have been taught or just do the reverse.
Yes.
because,
Yeah.
because exactly what you're saying, I find this is gold when we're talking about feminine embodiment and feminine leadership. Oh my God, it's like you touched a point here that's so important. Instead of doing more whenever it gets chaotic, it doesn't work like you want it to work. It's not whatever, the business, the kids, the planning, the list. Stop.
Yes.
First thing, stop,
Yes.
breathe, take a step back, create space.
Yes.
Create space, sit in that. Take a day off, take a half a day off, go in nature, do nothing.
Yeah.
Play with your children, with the dog, hug a tree,
Yes.
take a bath,
Yeah. And
the counterintuitive or the counter, it's not intuitive, it is intuitive, but
yeah.
it's counter programming, of what you have been taught to do.
And it actually,
Do more, search more, buy more, hire more.
and it actually like it it shifts the frequency in the quantum field.
Yes.
It is doing work, but it's not the way that we've been programmed to think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me show you the card that came up today because it's so important. I just posted about it. Healing is happening.
Beautiful.
Trust the process. It's safe to soften. It's exactly
Often.
what you're on.
Yeah.
Trust the process. It's safe to soften. It's exactly about the work that is being done in the subtle realms, in the energy field that we don't see and that we haven't been taught to trust.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
aware.
And I think that's where you were saying in the beginning is it's a trust. It's not the listening that's hard so much. Some people, everyone's on their own journey. Some people are not tuned in enough to listen. I think our audiences, they are listening. And that's not the hard part per se. The hard part is trusting because again, it's so crazy how all these things went down with the ideology of my business and where it was at that particular point in time. And I'm getting all these offers on silver platters for fame and investments and this and that. And everything on paper was telling me to take it, to do it. And just a very, very subtle thread in my body was saying, wait a minute, investigate deeper, investigate deeper, investigate deeper. Meanwhile, everything on paper is going, and I'm like, well, Q3 is almost over. And, all of those logical, programs were coming in there. And because the trust factor was being alchemized as an embodied feminine, as an embodied being, I was able to not only listen, but trust. And that has been manifesting things correctly. And that's what I'm interested in. I know you are as well, Anca. That's what we are interested in, leading people forward as divine feminine leaders. Yes, do we want more money? Yes. Why?
Why not? Sure.
Yeah, because we want to be able to live our missions effectively. Yes. And it's just easier with resources.
Yes.
That's why I want private jet.
Ease. And we deserve joy. And we deserve, because God is not some white dude on a throne that wants us to like suffer all day long and atone for the sins. That is bullshit. That is programming. Yes. We are inherently deserving and containing the frequency. We just need to remember to access it, how to access it, because it's there. All of the joy, all of the abundance, all of the ease, all of the woo things are actually an intrinsic normal part of any woman's life, because feminine energy is mystery, is magic, is hidden power in this way of like subtle realms, in this way of percepting and perception. This is feminine, and this is why we're here. I'm like so lit up now because this is my mission, of course, and this is my journey as well. It took me so much to trust myself. I'm gonna cry now, but it took me so much to trust myself, to come to a point where I am not crazy. I'm just so attuned. I'm just so, I have this native gift of feeling everything, of feeling and seeing the bullshit through everything.
Yeah.
And that everybody, every woman is like this if she allows herself to trust. And this is the hardest part, because we have been systematically driven away from ourselves to trust the exterior.
Well, we've
Look
been
out, not in.
Yeah. We've been enslaved, and we're really coming into our power. And we are breaking the matrix from the inside out.
Like the egg.
Yes.
With life, you know, from within. And when someone told me a couple of years ago, because I was eager and impatient, you know, patience, it's crucial. Trust, patience, acceptance is crucial on this path, because nothing is like this. Sometimes it can be like this, but not usually, you know. And she told me, not yet. You need to stay in your cocoon, hidden for a little bit more. And I understood that after a year or two.
Yep. It's key. We could keep going forever and ever. I feel we do have a few people live here, so I wanted to open it up to questions if you're okay with that. If there are any questions, and so
I'm very curious. Like, what's the takeaway? What's the spark you're living with? What's that one thing that is like, oh yeah, this is for me?
Yeah, I would hear that. I'm very curious as well. And then in the meantime, I am curious if there's anything that we can promote for you to see what is going on in your world, if this is resonating with anybody, where they can find you. Offerings are at this point.
They can find me here on the account of Instagram. They can find me also on Facebook. It's my name over there too. They can find me on my website. It's also my name, ancalavinia.ro/en for English.
Okay.
I'm gonna soon switch everything to English, but
I have to plug my phone in.
It's two things. And what I am offering right now is this wonderful alchemical 111 highly tailored journey. Whole Woman, it's the name.
Oh my gosh.
I am all the woman, and loving all the parts within, and accepting all the parts within, and doing work and being real with us, with ourselves. Actually, this is one of the questions I ask my clients when they say da, 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 and I'm like, is this truth? Is this actually the truth?
Yeah.
And then they take a beat and they're like, no, you know. So it's the one-on-one container, and I'm actually offering the beautiful intuitive soulful astrology sessions, which are a powerhouse, because I'm not just an astrologer, as you could see. I'm an oracle, I'm a channel, I'm a medicine woman, I'm a new earth woman. I'm like this multifaceted, very complex being that also loves astrology. So
we'll have to have you back on, and we could do more of an astrology focused episode, because I've been getting very, very deeply into the astrology. I'm a scientist at heart, and so I have to really test things out over and over and over again before I subscribe to them. And the astrology that I have been really digging into has checked out every single time. So I'm like, okay, I am definitely a believer. And that would be super fun. But my phone battery is failing at the moment, so we're going to celebrate Mercury retrograde. But thank you so much for this conversation. It's been wonderful, and I think it's really achieved my goal for today, which was to to really embody the examples
Mm.
for our people of what divine embodied feminine leadership really looks like. It really, it does include power, like no doubt, but it's a different kind of power and it's a different kind of wisdom. And we're going to be seeing so much more of this as we go on. Oh, we do have one comment here. It says, I loved hearing about feeling the feeling in our bodies and not just the logic in our heads. Yes. On that note, I will say, I'm really honored to be able to offer human design readings. This is something that I do sometimes a few times a year. So that's available to anyone. You can find me here on Instagram at Alchemy with Allison. Um, Human design is a great tool to do just that, to get us out of our heads with the logic and start deconditioning and get really into the body and the body's wisdom, because it shows us a map of how the energy in the body wants to flow unencumbered. And when that magic is tapped into, it's like the possibilities are limitless. Um,
And what
yeah,
even more magic is that I noticed that almost every system, be it astrology, human design, shamanism, whatever, I also practice shamanism. That's why I said that with my drumming and my singing and all of that. But every arrow, let's say, points back into the body, back
yes,
into wisdom,
yes,
back to claim your sovereignty, listen to your inner authority.
yes,
Stop
100%.
looking out and leading your life based on what others say, what others expect, what others say is good or acceptable or the right thing. And this is our mission,
Yes,
both of us. We are empowering women and people, generally speaking, to be in themselves and trust themselves and lead themselves.
yes. Yes, 100%.
Thank you.
It's been such an honor. Yeah, for anyone listening, you can find Anca on the platforms that she mentioned. You can find me here on Instagram at Alchemy with Allison. We both offer one-on-one containers and hold our clients in space with our clients in a way that I would say deliver maximum results. I mean, these are,
Well,
we don't have time to get into that, but
you can see the embodiment is what creates the magic and the results
yes.
more than the talking, the techniques, the, who you are in your field is what ignites and sparks and creates.
Yes.
And that's why it's so special and important. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Beautiful. Thank
sharing.
you. It's such an honor. Okay, everyone, we will see you again next week. Same time, same place. I love you. Bye. Bye. Okay.